how to edit your Instagram photo video today. I get so many questions here on YouTube and also directly on my Instagram, and I will put my Instagram name right here if you guys want to follow me. But I always get questions on how I edit my photos and what apps I use to edit my photos and things like that. So I am going to show you guys what apps I use, and I'm going to edit one photo for you guys because I don't do much like of the reflected photos or like 3D effects or like putting stickers on photos, things like that. I just basically take the photo on my phone and edit it and upload it. So I don't do any of the excessive editing, I guess. I just use like a few different apps, and I'm going to show you guys how to edit one of my photos, and you guys can like take these tips that I show you guys and apply them to all your photos, because this is exactly what I do to all my photos, and I hope it helps you guys. So let's get started. So this is my Instagram feed. As you can see, it's semi-cohesive. I sort of do all of the white borders. So this is what it looks like without the white borders. It's just sort of photo on top of photo on top of photo, but I've recently done all of the 17 pixel white borders that I've been showing you guys, and it's been creating a little bit more white space and a little bit more separation between my photos, which is something that I've actually been liking a lot on my Instagram page. And so I'm going to first share with you guys exactly what I do on my actual iPhone camera. So all I've done is I've gone to my iPhone camera app, and this is what it looks like. I keep HDR on, so you're gonna put your HDR, toggle it on up here, and I always take my photos in a square, because I'm going to be uploading them to Instagram as a square, because I do not use any whiteogram, any square ready, anything like that, because I do not like the white space on the outsides. I don't like my photos to not be cohesive. So I always take my photos as a square, which allows me to just like literally take my photo as a square, other than an up and down photo. So whatever fits in the square is what's going to be on Instagram. So if you're taking like a selfie, or if someone's taking a picture of you, just set it on a square, because then they're going to know that everything that is going to be shown is going to be able to fit on your Instagram feed, which I love that about this. Alright, so I'm first going to show you guys what exact apps I use to edit my photos. So I have them under this photography folder right here, and when I open it, you can see these are my two main apps I use. VSCOcam and Afterlight are the two main apps. VSCOcam's a free one, Afterlight costs like 99 cents or something. And then these other ones I use sometimes. I don't use them very much, but I do use them on occasion, probably way less than I use these two, but they are Reflection, Timer Cam if I want to use do a self-timer photo, Fonto if I want to add text on a photo, PicStitch if I ever do a collage, which I do not ever do collages anymore, so I don't even know why I have that. Walgreens, which was just for printing my photos, A Beautiful Mess, which I haven't used in quite a while, and then Perfect 365, which I use sometimes on selfies if I want to make like my skin look a little bit nicer, if it doesn't look as great that day, or if it doesn't look like as up to what I want it to look like, so I'll use Perfect 365 as well. But I'm going to show you guys how to edit my photos, because I do the editing a lot in VSCOcam, and so I'm going to open the app right now. And here is my VSCOcam, and I'm just going to add a photo from my camera roll, or I'm just going to go to my album. I created an album for this video that just has a few different photos. I'll show you guys how to edit it. And I'm going to start off with sort of a selfie almost like photo. And you're going to import the photo, and it's going to look like this. And this was actually taken on that Timer Cam app I showed you guys. And I just set my camera on the floor and took it against the wall. So first what I always do is if you guys notice, I don't use any sort of at all of the like Square Ready or the Whiteogram apps, because I hate the like white borders and stuff. I have to have everything perfectly square, because I'm like OCD about my photos, and if they do not line up, or if they're not like coordinated in my feed, then I just cannot even look at it. So I always start off by just clicking on the tool button right in the middle, and I click the little arrow at the bottom to bring up the toolbox, and then I click the wrench, and I go to the crop, and I do it, that's the one by one crop, and I'll just crop it to a square to start. And also, because I'm OCD, I can already tell that this line here, the line that I'm sitting against, like the wall and the ground meeting, is not perfectly straight, so I'm gonna rotate it to where it is pretty perfectly straight, and there's a nice grid on here that you guys can see, but I'm able to line up the bottom of the line with that grid, and I'm just going to click the check mark, and now it's a lot more straighter than it would be. Now it's actually time to edit the colors and stuff. I absolutely love the VSCOcam filters they offer, and you guys have probably seen the ones that you get, but I am kind of an Instagram / VSCO cam addict, so I decided to buy every single filter pack available, and so now I have all of these, and I literally only use the first ones that it comes with. So I would suggest just sticking with the first ones, but if you guys want to use whichever ones you'd like or purchase more, they're really inexpensive. It was like $7 to purchase all of the other ones, and it gives me options, and it's just fun to do. So what I would probably do for this one, my two all-time favorite filters to use are F2, which is this one here, and then T1, which is this one here. But I do use F2 a lot just because I don't know, it creates sort of a vintage look, and it also whites out my space, which I also really like. But what I've recently been doing is just adding a little bit of the filter on it. So you can actually, if you double click on the filter itself, you can actually adjust how much of that filter you want to be applied to your photo. So I'm probably going to apply about a 9 on this photo here, check mark, and then that's all I do with my filters. Then I actually go into the individual editing. So I go back to the wrench tool, and it has all these different editing options here. And the editing options are brightness or exposure. So I typically just bring it up about 1 if I ever am using the one on VSCO Cam. It's sort of a big jump, so I like to use the one on Instagram. I do edit my photos using the Instagram tools as well, which I'm also going to show you guys. And then temperature, so I'm going to bring this down 1 just because I want it to be a little bit more white. I typically focus a lot on white space, so I'm trying to make this as white as I can get it to be. And then the contrast I might bring up, that's a little too much contrast, so I might leave it as is. And then I might just sharpen my image a little bit with the sharpen tool. And that's all I'm going to do in VSCO Cam, and I'm going to click the check mark here, and I'm going to save to camera roll. I'm going to go into Afterlight, and I'm going to add the photo I just did. So here is the photo that we just edited in VSCO Cam, and I'm going to add it into Afterlight. And this one's really cool because it has some of these really nice overlays, and so what I go to do is sometimes I want to add like a light leak, and you could add a light leak and it creates these really neat rays of light, or you can do like one on the side like that. So I use this one quite a bit as well, so I'm actually not going to put one on there. But what I've also been doing with my feed personally is I've been adding a little border around it. So you're going to click on the frame all the way in the far right corner, click original, and then go to this one here, and I bumped mine up to 17. I know that 17 is the frame width I used on all my photos. So it gives me this white frame around my photo, and I'll show you guys what that means in a little bit when I show you my Instagram. But that's all I'm going to do in Afterlight, and then I again save to my camera roll. After the save's complete, then I go into Instagram where I'm going to actually upload and edit the photo a little bit more. So I'm gonna find that photo, and here it is, and as you can see it has a little white border around the edges, and I'm gonna click next. Then this is where I love these Instagram editing tools. I click on the middle one here, and I could adjust this, and it creates a fade or a more clarified photo. I typically like to go for the more clarified look, so I'm just gonna go for about 7. And I love the editing tools on here, so I'm gonna bring up brightness just a little bit, contrast just a little bit, and this is where it's nice because you don't have that huge jump that VSCO Cam has. You can sort of do however much you want. And then highlights are also cool because this creates a lot of white space. So I'm gonna do highlights, and then I'm gonna bring my shadows down to create more dark space, or more dark areas. And then, that is about all I would do for this photo. So this would be perfectly ready for Instagram, and as you can see, this is what it looks like. I hope you guys can see that. I'll post the photo right here on the screen as well that you guys will be able to see, and then that will just be posted on Instagram. I could write my caption, put everything else that I'm going to be doing. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it was just editing one photo, I didn't edit a ton, but that's honestly what I do for all of my Instagram photos. It's not anything special, and sometimes I do take them on my camera and then I send them to my phone and I upload them as a more high quality photo if I take it on my camera instead, because I do not only just post phone photos, I do post some camera photos, but mostly phone photos since it is from Instagram. And also, you guys, if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Imdrewscott, and that's also my Twitter username. And you guys can check out my blog at imdrewscott.com. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe as well. So that's a lot of self-promotion right there. But anyways, I will talk to you all next time. Bye, everybody.